When you hear the word investing, what initially pops into your head? Is it like most people and you just automatically assume they're talking about stock or real estate investing? Well, for the last year, I've been investing in alternative investments ranging anything from antique cars, sports cards, Hall of Fame sports jerseys, vintage books, purses that cost more than a common car, comic books, and much more. I wanted to create this video to show you how easy it is to invest in alternative investments, but even more importantly, how much money you can make / how much you can make in returns from investing in these alternative investments rather than putting your money in the stock market or with real estate. So without further delays, let's dive right into this video. I made all my alternative investments through the app called Rally Road, and with this app, you could definitely invest in a wide variety of different investments. This video is all about how much money I made in the last year with these alternative investments, but if you guys are interested in how the app works, what you can invest in, or how to actually use the app, I have a separate video that gives you a full breakdown that I made over a year ago, so definitely feel free to check that out. I also want to mention that this video is neither paid nor sponsored by Rally Road. I just really enjoy making money for myself and also sharing this experience with you guys. So if you're interested in making more money, definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. So now let's talk about 1, what were the investment? 2, how much money did I put into these investments? 3, how long did I own those investments for? And 4th and final, and most importantly, how much of the sweet cash or returns did I make with these investments? I also want to quickly mention how the Rally Road app actually works. So they have different investments ranging anywhere from a couple of thousands of dollars all the way up to hundreds of thousands, even close to $1 million per these investments. And they're broken up into shares. So these shares can range anywhere from $1 all the way up to about $200. Just depends on what the total investment is worth and how many shares there are out there. I also want to apologize in advance for looking down at my notes. We invested in 13 different investments over the last year, so there's quite a bit of different information. But the first investment we had was 10 shares of a 1956 Mickey Mantle card. I bought each share for $1. I held on to those shares for 204 days, and then each share increased to about $4.10 per share, which actually equates to a 310% return on my investment. The second investment was 1 share of a 1965 Ford Mustang Fastback, and I paid $48.50 for that share. I ended up selling 105 days later and ended up selling it for $50.05. So it wasn't that good of a return, but I did end up making 3.2% return on my money. Next up, I bought 4 shares of a Hermes Crocodile Birkin bag at $26.25 per share. I ended up holding those shares for 102 days and ended up selling them for the exact same price. So that is exactly $0 return on that investment. After that, I bought 2 shares of a Babe Ruth card at $38.50 per share. I had them for 116 days and ended up selling them for $45.55, equating to about 18.3% return on that investment. After that, I bought 1 share of a 1980 Porsche 928 at $9.60. I held on to it for 105 days and profited a 4.2% return when I sold it for about $10. After that, I bought 1 share of a 1998 Michael Jordan game-worn jersey, Go Bulls, especially here in Chicago, at $64 per share. I ended up holding it for 62 days and sold it for a 22.9% return, which means I sold the share for $78.65. I then purchased 2 shares of Apollo 11 signed New York Times newspaper at $32 per share. I held on to it for 130 days and was able to sell it for $38.10 per share, resulting in a 19.1% return. Up next, I bought 1 share of a Babe Ruth bat at $85 per share. I held on to it for 233 days and was able to sell for $100, resulting in a 17.6% return. I then tried my luck with purchasing 1 share of a 1962 Incredible Hulk comic book at $44.50, held on to it for 117 days, and was able to sell for $45.60, resulting in a 2.5% return. I then tried my luck purchasing 5 shares of a 1943 DC Comics Superman at $1 a piece. I was able to sell it for $1.55 145 days later, resulting in a 55% return. After that, I bought 1 share of a Babe Ruth baseball at $14.50. 117 days later, I sold it for $16.70, resulting in a 15.2% return. I then bought 1 share of a 1953 Casino Royale First Edition at $39. I sold it 124 days later for a price of $42.05, resulting in a 7.8% return. And finally, the last investment was 2 shares of a 1954 Lord of the Rings trilogy book at $29 per share. I held on to it for 117 days and sold it for $32 per share, resulting in a 10.3% return. So if you sum up all the profits from the investments that we just listed, that means I made $104.45 of pure profit. This comes out to be a 20.9% return on my initial investment of $500. I would love to hear from you guys below in the comments if this 20.9% return is better than what you're getting in the stock market or within real estate. Do you think this is something you could actually do long term and put a lot of money into and actually get the same amount of returns? Or is it something that I just happen to get lucky with picking just good items and investments within the Railroad app? I'd love to hear from you guys down below. So to conclude, you would automatically probably assume that I'm going to put even more money, thousands if not tens of thousands of dollars into this Railroad app to keep investing into these alternative investments. Of course, if I'm getting returns over 20% in just a matter of a couple of months, but that's not entirely the case here. First off, a lot of my net worth is in real estate, especially with this 3-flat property here in Chicago, my 401k, and also my Roth IRA through Webull. And I definitely think that everyone should diversify their portfolio and not have all their eggs in one basket. So that's why I'm really interested in alternative investments. But going forward, I'm not going to be using Railroad, and that's because of two main reasons. The first reason, with the Railroad app, there's only certain times when you're allowed to buy and sell these investments. So say for example, you wanted to invest in Babe Ruth bat, you're gonna have to wait several months until you're eligible again to sell that bat. So it's not like when you're investing in Robinhood or Webull, you could go in and sell the stock whenever. The second reason, it's kind of like gambling when you're using the Railroad app. I personally want to do my own research. That way I have a higher probability of making money with this investment. With Railroad, you only have certain items that you're allowed to invest in. So if you were going to guess what would have a higher return in investment between a Hermes bag or a Mickey Mantle card, who would ever think there would be a 310% difference between these two investments? So with the items out on the Railroad app, to me it just kind of seems like you're gambling, picking which one you think is going to pop off and make you the most amount of money. I personally would rather do the research myself and just buy the item myself. With that being said, make sure to stay tuned and subscribe to this channel because I'm going to make tons of more investments in the future, especially with alternative investments, because there's a lot of potential to make a good amount of money. So make sure you follow me along for this journey and hopefully we can make a lot of money together. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment down below on what I should make my future videos on. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you again for watching, and this is Kevin, your financial tutor, signing off. Peace.